All right, everyone, now we have to talk about the irrelevancy of the Dem debates, number one, as they straggle on, especially through the impeachment inquiry, which is competing for that low attention span sort of audience. We have to talk about last night's Democratic debate. I have not watched it. I'm going to go strictly by what I've seen in others' analysis, legacy media and independent content creators. Seems like Klobuchar runs away as the big winner, and Kamala Harris. But that's irrelevant, and this is exactly why the Dem debate, especially last night, means nothing. If you're in that low tier, having a good debate performance, as we've seen with Buttigieg and the others, doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the performance of Biden, Sanders, and Elizabeth Warren, and arguably Pete Buttigieg. Everyone else doesn't matter whether their night is good or bad. A bad night means maybe they have to drop out. A good night means they can stagger on to the next debate. That's really all that it means. Klobuchar won't be nominated. There's 0% chance. There's no possibility. Doesn't have the charisma, doesn't have the skill, doesn't have the demeanor, certainly doesn't have the organic sort of backing needed to fund a campaign. Neither will Yang, neither will Gabbard. For all of her potential positive points, she's not viable and never has been. Viability is cut off at Buttigieg at this point. Kamala has already exhausted hers. She's on her way out, I think. I don't think she'll even make it to the voting stage. I think she'll have dropped out. Deval Patrick is in. I didn't even know about that. That was a week ago. And that points to the malaise of the Dems. You go to Trump's Twitter, and you can see crazy shit. And whether or not you like him or not, even people who hate him love to hate him. They like the fact that their egotistical anger can be stroked on a daily basis by off-the-wall things Trump says. And people who like him, they really like him. They find it interesting. They find it funny when he insults somebody on Twitter or whatever. And he controls the news cycle thereby. Do the Democrats have anything comparable as far as excitement? The impeachment proceedings, think about it, impeachment. It hasn't happened that many times in U.S. history. It's an uncommon, unique event. People are like, wow, this is going to be exciting. When Pelosi comes out initially and says, well, there will be an impeachment hearings. We're going to officiate it and make sure that this is done properly. All the Dems went wild. Oh my God, it's the best thing ever. We get to see Orange Man dragged through the streets by his evil hair, and they're going to beat and rape him in the streets because they're violent people. They idiot about these things. And our republic will be restored, and Bernie Sanders will soar through the skies and shit socialism out all over us. They figured it would be big and exciting because they're judging it based on Trump standards, because that's what they've, over the last couple of years, gotten used to. They're thinking that's the way politics works. That's not the way the House of Representatives works. So that's landed with a thud. Approval for it is waning, in part because it's fucking boring. The testimony is boring. The cross-examination is boring. The closest thing we get to any humor or excitement within the impeachment inquiries is when Nunes is speaking, a Republican who constantly chastises and berates the witness, and then has a sparring with that lieutenant colonel there who thought that civilians had to address him as sir. Well, fuck you, no they don't. And that was pointed out by other military veterans that was just being a prissy. And he is a little loser. So you have the impeachment proceedings. They're wonky. Nobody really cares. Then you have these debates. The first couple debates were okay, but the thing is, they're not really debates, and that's the other problem. The Democrats, by and large, refuse to attack each other. You don't have any attack dog behavior other than Tulsi Gabbard. Gabbard gets muzzled every time she tries to do this. Remember the last debate, the one before this? When she tried to go after Elizabeth Warren and was quickly, her microphone was shut off and she was shouted down by the moderators. Oh my God, protect Elizabeth Warren. Oh my God, at all costs, because she's our stand-in case Biden croaks. In case Biden falls out of favor or croaks, Elizabeth Warren is the nominee. We all know this. Bernie Sanders is an elderly, health-challenged socialist, so he's not going to be the one. He's going to turn 79 years old soon. Christ almighty, what the fuck do you expect him to do? His revolution every day is putting on his pants himself. He's not going to save your party. Elizabeth Warren is the stand-in, so they don't want her attacked. There's nothing exciting. When Pelosi speaks, the only time it's exciting is to far-left voters. Occasionally she waxes hyperbolic and talks about how they're going to remove Trump and restore the republic, and the far-left goes wild. The AOC types love that sort of rhetoric. But you can't carry it over into the official legalese and decorum of government, which is very boring. Have you ever actually seen, watch C-SPAN sometime and watch the Senate or the House or whatever. Watch the House of Commons over in the UK. That's more interesting. At least then they have a British accent, make the occasional Monty Python reference. Over here, it's very dry. It's very, very dry. It's boring. And people don't like boring. They tune into TV or a YouTube live stream to see something exciting. They're waiting till the general election. They're waiting for a debate between Trump and whoever the nominee is so he can rip them to shreds like a fucking rabid Rottweiler. That's what they want. They want a Jerry Springer political arena. They want idiocracy, ironically enough. It's exactly what the American people have grown accustomed to want. By the way, people look back and they'll try to say, well, Trump was the turning point. That was the moment at which the public's mind degenerated into Jerry Springerism in politics. No. You gotta go way back before that. Go back to the 80s and look at some of the political discourse of the early shock jocks, like a Wally George or something, and some of these like earlier talk shows, like a Springer-esque atmosphere. That was in the 80s. Arguably the 70s before that. What are you talking about? Trump has nothing. Trump was a young man at the time when those things were happening. He wasn't even quite middle-aged when this sort of thing began. That's crazy talk. Trump didn't cause it. He just knows how to capitalize upon it because he spent his entire life milling around in Hollywood and with talk show hosts and shock jocks. He was a friend of Stern. He knows all of this stuff. He knows what people want. He knows how to brand things and make them exciting. Even if he says something that's ultimately boring, he comes up and he's talking about border defenses. What could be more fucking boring than building a wall? What could be more boring than a few fences and surveillance drones and deportation? Nobody cares about that. But if you make it big and exciting and say huge over and over and flap your arms, it becomes funny all of a sudden. It's all about the delivery. He's the only person in the United States that can get people fired up about these issues and actually make them care. By the way, that's both to his benefit and potential detriment depending on the issue. The Democrats don't do that. They're still stuck in the 90s. You've got a few Democrats that kind of sort of break the mold. Like Tulsi Gabbard will occasionally go on the attack. The Democrats get so flustered, so paranoid about that they silence her. And then she lashes out at them, has another good fundraising round, and can continue being a thorn in their side a little bit longer. Buttigieg a little bit, but he's got Trump derangement syndrome. He still won't really attack his fellow Dems. Kamala Harris occasionally. But Kamala Harris, what do we know about her? Is she good at speaking? No. She had a good debate performance last night, still getting outshined by Amy Klobuchar of all people. That just shows me when Amy Klobuchar is almost universally regarded as the debate winner, without having the benefit of having watched it, I'm just going to take what I'm hearing from every other fucking person on the internet. When she's considered the winner of a debate, you've got goddamn problems with that debate field. Amy Klobuchar, Yeah, Amy Klobuchar, the person when she first jumped into the race, the optics were this. She made it all about global warming and climate change in a snowstorm. That's her idea of political strategy, and she won the debate. This is going to be the best general election ever, because Donald Trump is going to come out like a raped ape, and he's going to decimate everything in his field. He's going to go through, and he's going to knock people out of his way left and right. He's going to rip them apart limb from limb, and that's going to be the election. It's going to be a blood sport on the national stage, and people are going to shout about how he's lowering standards, making people dumb. We need more censorship, because otherwise we'll have more evil-doing orange Trumflers running around. And at the end of the day, he'll probably win re-election comfortably, and he'll say, I told you so to all of the never-Trumpers, and then they can go back to having orange man bad Trump derangement syndrome and pretending to still be interested in tackling bigger issues. Trump is tackling them. He just puts a facade, a veneer over them that makes them palatable and exciting. He puts a little sugar on the bitter pill that people have to swallow, which is boring, dumb, slow, convoluted, obfuscated government. He's the only one attempting to do that, and that's what I believe he'll win. Demdebate. My God, I couldn't think of anything I would rather not watch. I would rather watch C-SPAN. I'd rather watch reruns of Barney and Friends. They would be more exciting than watching Amy Klobuchar talk about her menstrual pads and how this makes her qualified to govern. I don't care about these people. They're boring. It really, ultimately, it boils down to this. Look, a lot of people have lower... I don't even use a smartphone. My attention span, I assure you, is considerably longer than the average person. I can sit there and read for hours still. A lot of people have lost that physical ability. I can probably still write, too, not just type, although haven't tried it in a few days. Most people have lower attention spans. They don't have time to sit there and watch the Demdebates. Not unless it explodes in fireworks, and even then, most people that see it, they'll be getting sound bites or little video clips of 30 seconds or less or something from other people, especially content creators, which is exactly why they want to ban us all, so that they can instead serve it through CNN and filter the reality of everyone through that lens. That's about all. Peace out.